Welcome everybody to Spam Smackdown episode 4, and we are on the heels of a great Judgment Day show, and now it is time to get back to the regular episodes, and we are here with this Smackdown episode, and we get to start the show off with new United States Champion Rob Van Dam coming out to the ring, and he starts the show off, talks about his win over JBL, and he also announces that he's going further with doing a open challenge for the US title moving forward, and this was kind of a risk that I wanted to take, because mainly I knew, like, okay, RVD probably won't have that long of a reign if I do an open challenge every week, but this could be also a little fun challenge, so I put every single guy on the roster on the wheel, and I just kind of went for it. I was like, okay, let's see. I even put Teddy Long on there. Just kind of seeing who we could get to face off with RVD, and Billy Kidman was the winner of this wheel, so we got our first match of the night. Billy Kidman making his way out to the ring to face Rob Van Dam for the United States Championship, and this one, it's an interesting battle, because you could also, I mean, they're both cruiserweights, so it could have been for the cruiserweight title as well, but definitely an interesting shot. Billy Kidman never got a US title shot. He only had a cruiserweight title shot to my knowledge in WWE. So this is an incredible shot for him, and both men square up to start the match. RVD delivers a good kick to Billy Kidman, knocks him on his back. Later on in the matchup, RVD has Billy Kidman beat, goes to the top rope for the 5-star frog splash, launches himself, but Kidman gets a leg up, knocks RVD down, and then Billy Kidman goes to the top rope and hits that classic shooting star press, and then gets the 3 count on RVD, and Billy Kidman is your new United States Champion. And this is the risk that I knew, like, I was running with. Like, you never know with the randomizer, and had I hoped that RVD would have a long reign and could do this open challenge every week? Sure. But plans change, and this is going to be a new challenge to see how to book the next episode. Then we took a moment where John Cena kind of came out, and he's not on the show as fighting, but he just came out and thanked all the fans for his big title win, and just keeps the ball rolling and seeing where things will go. So next up we have Big Show making his way to the ring. He's coming off the win over Kane, and he has the match against Charlie Haas. This is just kind of a general match. Not a great spot for Charlie Haas, as you can tell by the height difference, but he does have Shelton Benjamin at ringside, so that might pay off to his favor later on, and maybe he can sneak a win on the Big Show. Both men started off later in the matchup. Big Show has Charlie Haas by the neck, picks him up, and delivers a massive choke slam to Charlie Haas. But then, lo and behold, here comes Kane in the ring with a steel chair. Everyone thinks he's going to hit Big Show with it, but he changes his tune, and he goes and hits Charlie Haas with it, and Charlie Haas wins this matchup by disqualification thanks to Kane and the steel chair. And that, I think, is the only way Charlie Haas would have beat the Big Show, and that's the randomizer back at work. So we got Charlie Haas with a big win over Big Show by disqualification, and Kane and Big Show continue their rivalry, and it looks like it's not going to be done. It looks like we're going to be heading to Great American Bash with Kane and Big Show still having a big rivalry. Settle the score, maybe, or Big Show will get another win over Kane. Next, Triple H comes out, talks about his disappointment in Judgment Day, and does promise to get his revenge on John Cena, and he wants that title back, and it'll be curious to see what will happen going forward. These two definitely have plenty of business to sort out. Our next matchup, we have Paul London, Brian Kendrick getting their rematch clause for the Tag Team Championships, and they will take on the new Tag Team Champions, Rene Dupree, Rob Conway, La Resistance. And I really like this team having the belts, not gonna lie. I was always a big La Resistance fan, and getting the French flag just added a little bit more to it. But we get the rematch, so that all can change real quick. Rene Dupree, Paul London starting things off. Both men lock it up to start. Then, early on, Paul London does get a headlock on Dupree, but Dupree counters it, picks him up, and puts him right down on the mat. Later on in the matchup, Rene Dupree levels Paul London with a big clothesline. La Resistance rolling. Then, much later in the matchup, Brian Kendrick into this point, and Rene Dupree has him in the corner and launches him over the turnbuckle and onto the floor. Things are not looking good for London and Kendrick. But then, later on, Rob Conway now in, and La Resistance still has a good advantage up, but Brian Kendrick drops and sneaks a roll-up on Rob Conway. That's all they need. That's a 3 count right there, and we have Paul London and Brian Kendrick as now 2-time tag team champions, and they won the titles right back. And that's why back-to-back shows with the title on the line, you're not going to last long because their randomizer does not like you one bit. And La Resistance, maybe they'll just keep hot potatoing these tag belts, because maybe they'll invoke their rematch clause next episode. Then, in our main event, we have Kurt Angle taking on The Undertaker. And this was just kind of a match that I figured this might be the start of a little feud. Need to get some non-title feuds going besides Big Show and Kane. So this one I thought might be a little fun, and we'll see what we can build to. But Undertaker, Kurt Angle, pretty good matchup here. Later on in the matchup, we got Kurt Angle delivering an Angle Slam on The Undertaker, but Undertaker does kick out. Then Undertaker now has the advantage, has Kurt Angle up, and he delivers a choke slam to Kurt Angle. Then later on in the matchup, Kurt Angle once again has momentum on his side. He has Undertaker in the ankle lock, but Undertaker does manage to get to the bottom rope, and that will stop it. And then this was the capitalizing moment. Undertaker got Kurt Angle up for the tombstone. He delivers it, drops him right on his head, and there's no getting up from that. Undertaker with a big win over Kurt Angle. We'll see where these things lead to next week. But we have a pretty solid show overall, and we will catch you next episode. And then that will be the final build-up show to then Great American Bash in 2 episodes. So stay posted, and thank you all for watching.